Is it working?
going?
It looks like it's working. Woo.
Well, if it is, then everybody should know that this is Can I Just Say One Thing podcast. I'm Demi.
I'm Jess.
And we are here, and it's Cesar Chavez Day.
Demi got it off.
I got it off. It was wonderful.
Did not.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Shame.
I'm sorry. How have I not complimented your sweater?
Well,
it's
okay.
incredible.
So
Just
I don't know what it means. So
like you're sweet on the inside. It's like the candy
do you think that's
thing.
what it means? Because this was given to me by my friends in the UK.
It's
so
like
it was bought in the
RBF.
UK, like resting bitch faced.
Yeah.
But just so it says just prickly outside with a hedgehog on it. It's very sequinty.
It's cute.
I haven't worn it really because I don't know what it means. I don't know if it was like something specific to like English culture. So I've been wanting to
You
Google
asked
it.
him?
No, I didn't ask him because my friend has the exact same one, and she's like the most bubbly, sweetest person ever. So I don't know why she would be prickly outside. So I didn't know. So, but I like it. I just don't know what it means.
It's so cute. Yellow is really a great color on you.
Thank you. That's so random of a color.
Yellow?
But, yeah, for me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yellow. One of the primary colors.
Any color could be random.
On me. I feel like yellow is a weird color. Also, can I just really real quick diverge this conversation?
Yeah, go.
Take a left-hand turn, and by saying that, I'm going to talk about people in traffic and driving.
Okay.
On the way here, I live a mile away from you.
Yeah.
Maybe
a mile.
Yeah. Okay. I had the right of way. I have a right-hand turn. Somebody was in the left-hand turn lane, and they had to yield to me, obviously. Yeah. Right-hand turn lane. Hello. Yeah. So they tried to cut me off, and I was like, no, sir, not today. And I took my right-hand turn. So they get in their lane, and then they realize they don't want to be in that lane, so they completely cut me off without a blinker. The blinker is there for a reason. And not only did that, so I honked at them. And normally I don't honk at people.
Oh,
it takes
I'm
a lot.
So ready.
Oh, really?
For the honks.
It really takes a lot for me to honk, truly. But I was just irritated because I'm like, your blinker's right there. Like,
you're lazy. Yeah. And you're being very inconsiderate in a tank.
And aggressive.
Yeah.
Runs the red light.
Oh. Okay, bye.
Cuts back over to the lane that they were, went from. Runs the next red light. And then there's a right-hand turn only lane.
Yeah.
As soon as the light turns green, they gun it and go straight. So they're just being an ass.
So they're the worst.
All I just want to say in this rant of mine is be considerate.
I know.
Just be considerate.
Just look alive.
Yeah,
like you're
truly.
Driving a car. I feel it's
and
so
it's raining
crazy.
today.
But
still.
Yeah.
It hasn't rained for like 4 days, so it could be oily or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like they're driving that way because it's raining.
No. Like, I'm saying like on addition to running red lights, cutting people off, it's also raining, so people are trying to be a little bit,
Yeah.
Most of us are trying to be a little bit more aware because there's another impairment, but
Yeah. I'm so annoyed all the time when people don't use their blinkers. I love them. I want everyone to know what I'm doing.
I don't understand why it's
not hard.
No.
You literally tap it boop, boop, on your finger.
Yeah. And it turns off by itself a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So really can't get much easier than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Idiots. Everyone's an idiot.
Demi and I are not drinking today.
No, not this week.
Yeah.
I went to Napa this weekend.
Oh, I know. I want to hear about that. What made you go?
Our friends are wine club members at a couple wineries, and so they get free tastings for friends.
That's awesome.
And so we just met them and like had a picnic and hung out all day.
That's good.
Napa's so beautiful.
I know, it's gorgeous. Especially yesterday. Yesterday was like one of the most perfect days.
My arms got a little bit of color.
They did.
I know they don't look like it.
No, they do.
It happened.
Yeah.
I'm not see-through anymore.
Yay.
Woo, woo.
I just look at the sun and it's like, hey, bitch, here you are.
You're blinded.
Getting darker. And I'm opening a can of sparkling water that's been in my fridge for 2 years. So
it's fine.
Let's see.
Is there an expiration?
I didn't find one.
On the bottom?
May 2018, but I think it's fine. It's like almost a year. Mm-hmm. Tastes the same as it always has.
I'm scared for that. I don't know if you should drink it.
Why not?
Because it's a year expired. Like if it was just sparkling water, that's one thing. But it's the flavoring where I'm just like, does that go bad?
I don't know. It literally tastes exactly the same. Should I not?
No.
Okay. Demi says no.
No. I can get you some water. We have more sparkles.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, friend. Okay. Now we're both going to drink sparkling water. Thanks, friend, for looking out. I guess I probably shouldn't get sick with anything.
No. No. You're not really doing anything next weekend, but like just in case something comes up that you want to do.
Right. Just something.
Just kidding. What are you doing? Tell everyone what you're doing. You psychopath.
I know, truly. Like, am I, though? Should I like, go and get tested and make sure I'm not a friggin' psychopath? Or at least a sociopath? I'm running that 50 miles we've been talking about for so long. I'm hopefully running that 50 miles.
You are.
I'm just saying, you know.
No.
I did really late on the guilt trip with my friend to run the whole entire thing with me. So, yeah. Well, we were running all season together.
Okay.
And after this, like, she's not running at all because she has bad knees.
Oh.
So I was like, this is the only time you're going to ever have the fitness if you're going to stop completely running to actually run it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, also, you can run it with me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers
and your
to
success.
You. And to you being awesome, always. So I feel like we are having like a little alcoholic beverage.
I know.
With these ice cubes and the fizz.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah, I feel like there's vodka in here.
I'm wasted.
So schmammered.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, I'm really into this sparkling water.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it because I know you said you don't really.
I don't like LaCroix.
Oh,
Blech.
good. I almost gave you that.
Oh.
You don't like it?
At all.
Ever?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I just don't like the flavor of it. I think it tastes...
I feel like it's the same thing like when people don't or like think cilantro tastes like soap.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing because some people love LaCroix and they're like diehard LaCroix.
My sister is.
I love it too. Well, actually, any sparkling water.
Yeah.
The one I will still buy when I'm in a pinch, the Trader Joe's sparkling water is very
I love it,
salty.
But I like it. But I like the grapefruit one. I don't like...
Oh, I haven't tried that.
I don't like the...
Plain?
Yeah, this is the only one... The Perrier, if I can say it, blah, is the only one that I like that's not flavored.
Mm.
Like, I have to have a flavor to it if I'm going to drink it.
Hmm.
And, of course, it can't get warm.
Ew. No.
Never. It's really... I know. I shouldn't have
No.
said it. That was horrible.
Horrible.
Horrible. I don't know what those words were supposed to be that I combined together.
Taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh, you guys. Also, my mom came last weekend, and she brought me an entire bag of notes dating as far back as like 2003. So we're in it for the long haul here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's some
lots of
real
juicy hot goss. Really.
Hot goss.
Yeah.
Is going down.
Uh-huh. Hope
Yeah.
you're ready for the middle school burns, okay?
I have apology letters written to my mother about my bad grades.
Oh.
They are so pathetic. I'm like, were you going through crisis all the time? I was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The struggle was very real inside my head.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
You know.
Yeah. Don't know what to say really about that other than like gross. Pathetic.
gross.
You're so gross. Like calm down. Why are you writing notes to your mom? You're like 13.
I don't think I ever wrote a note to my mom. You know, because...
They're embarrassing. Like, I'll
Yeah.
never read them.
Why?
Here?
Please.
No.
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 I love it so much.
No.
Oh, also,
What?
real quick.
Okay.
So I went to the barn yesterday for the first time at this little, like...
Oh, Drake's Barn.
Drake's Barn, yeah.
Okay.
It was out in the little middle of nowhere in West Sacramento, really.
Yeah.
By the river. And I went with Charlie, my niece.
Yeah, that picture.
She loved me so much yesterday. I just want to like brag about it for a second. She loved me so much. And then she forgot about me a few minutes later when she saw rocks. But, you know, for a while I was above the rocks.
But rocks.
Yeah, truly. And then she found a friend that she went to school with. She goes to school with. So then I really wasn't cool anymore. But for about 25 minutes.
Amazing.
I was the coolest person that she knew.
Ugh.
And
Gosh, the validation we get from children. I'm just like, oh, it's me.
Mm-hmm. You like me today?
Do you want to sit next to me?
You
Like
wanna sit
no
on my-
pressure. No
Yeah,
pressure. Kind of a big deal.
Can you? So it was so funny. Yesterday,
You want to sit on me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because yesterday she was like, "Oh, this chair is not comfortable," and I was like, "Does that mean you want to sit on my lap?" She's like, "Yes." Like, obviously.
Yes.
So yesterday when we were talking, she was talking about how she likes cold water, with ice in it, and I was like,
Me too.
You know what? And she's like, "What?" And I was like, I like cold water with ice in it. And she's like, oh, you do? And I was like, I do. And I was like, should we ask Mommy if she likes cold water with ice in it? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, Mommy, do you like cold water with ice in it like Aunt Mess and me? And Jen's like, yeah. And we both look at each other, we're like, oh, yeah. And she's like, now let's ask Daddy. And I was like, okay, go ahead, ask Daddy. Daddy, do you like cold water with ice in it like Mommy, Aunt Mess, and me? And Bo's like, I do. And we both look at each other, so surprised. And then we start laughing hysterically. And she's like, now we need to ask Uncle Shiloh. And I was like, okay, you want to do it? She's like, yeah. She's like, Uncle Shiloh, do you like cold water with ice in it? Like Daddy, Mommy, Aunt Mess, and me?
He says no, doesn't he?
No, he just looks and he kind of looks at it for a while and he's like, yeah, I do. And we all just start going, yay! Everybody's so excited. Yeah. And then we did this dance, and that's probably what you saw on my sister's Instagram or the video.
No, I didn't see that, but I saw the picture of her like squeezing her face onto yours, and that is such precious material. I need it
so cute.
all the time.
Well, the other thing was that after everybody liked ice cold water, we did this dance. We like shimmied in our chairs and like we're smiling and looking at each other, and my sister got it on video. And then we did our high five thing where we high five, then we bump fists, and then we sprinkle each other with our fingers. But as we do that, we go blah, 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 blah. So my sister got all of that on tape. Yay. And she only goes with me. She only does
I'm gonna
the
try
sound effect.
and see if she's like
Ma'am?
not today or ever.
I've heard her do it to somebody else. I think probably just with my sister or something like that. And no, but my sister didn't do it back. And so it was just her, and then she kind of realized that nobody did.
She's like, oops, embarrassing.
So cute. Anyway, we're not even here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
educated.
Educated.
I almost called it uneducated.
Well,
a long time. I mean, true,
because poor people can't.
Weird. This book is
also interesting because the very first author's note is this story is not about Mormonism.
Seems like it's clearly seems like it's a lot about Mormonism.
It's a lot.
TBH.
Yeah. And like I get it because I think she's trying to be diplomatic in it,
But also, I think how it's going to go is like it's not about Mormonism. It's her childhood that was so immersed into the Mormonism.
Very orthodox Mormonism, not even like
exactly
mainstream LDS.
Yes. And so like very immersed in the culture, and it's not advocating or hating either way. It's just this is what it was for me.
Totally.
And I think in the like towards the end there's going to be a transition. Yeah. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, because it's not like this is what Mormonism is, and we love it or whatever, I don't know, but
it's very much her experience with her family and how, and she even said that in that Ellen thing where it's like your parents want to love you and sometimes they don't. It may not be done in the healthiest way. Sure, it's like they kind of. Everybody gets confused, I think, on how to the best way to raise a child.
Well, yeah, a lot of what I was thinking here was about this whole vaccination craze that's going on right now. So, yeah, I'm. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. That's made me think a lot of that. And it also made me think a lot of the book that we read before the podcast, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. What made you think of that? I have a specific thing that made me think of that.
Well, the father, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Like
and potentially being bipolar.
Oh my gosh.
That's what made me think of The Great Alone versus this.
I loved what she said. Like she pinpointed the moment that she realized that her dad is most likely bipolar.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She said she was in college.
Yeah, she was listening to a professor.
Lecture,
yeah, and he was kind of going monotone or whatever, and he was just saying, you know, it might not even appear until they're 25. Before then, they might not ever have any signs that they've ever been bipolar.
Right.
And then it could just, you know,
appear
and go from there.
Which is terrifying
It's
that
so scary.
your body could do that. But I just, that really resonated, and just their lifestyle in general, about the socialism and
Illuminati.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so do we want to just kind of go through the da-da-da?
Go through the motions? Go through the da-da-da? Okay, so just to kind of give you like a quick overview, if you're not by chance reading it, although read along with us. Also read The Great Alone, so that way you understand what we're talking about.
Please.
But also it's Kristen Hanna, so read everything.
Yeah.
So she's 4 out of 7 children. Oh, she's
Tara.
4. She is the youngest out of 7 children, but 4 out of 7 children don't have birth certificates.
Right.
At 9 years old, she finally got a birth certificate,
which was such an ordeal, and like talking, like when she was talking about that, there are things that she has said where I'm just like, I've literally never in my entire 29 years of existence had to ever think of that.
Right.
Because I live in a house, in a community, and I do the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
And this woman and her family rebelled so hard against doing all those things, and all it does is make your life 10 times harder.
It's so, I can't even imagine how, I mean,
and they think they're
trying
so
to
free.
Scrape by. No, when it's like you're still so tied to literally your everyday life because you're having such a hard time existing.
Sure.
And it's like, I totally appreciate people that put in that hard work, and it absolutely has to be done.
Yeah. But
at the same time, it's not like they're taking easy routes to achieve that.
No.
Not that you have to be like the easiest, simplest thing, but at the same time, like.
But when you have 7 children, don't you kind of want to make it a little easier on yourself?
Of course. So I don't even know where. There's so much information. Her oldest brothers kind of like move away, but are still within their little system.
And, because they grew up to do the skills that their father encouraged them to do and kind of trained them to do.
Right. And they have one brother that this is the one that ends up trying to go to college and goes to college, Tyler. But before we even get there, it talks about a little bit about like their situation on like where they live. They live by this mountain, and they have a grandma that lives in town. They have a grandma that lives just, what's it called?
Out of town and in town or something.
Out of town grandma, and actually I have it. Out of town one they're not as close to, but it's like one down by the mountain or down. Oh, what's it called? Shoot.
Like mountain grandma.
Down the hill grandma.
Down the hill. That's
down the hill grandma. Yeah. Grandma down the hill and grandma out of town or something like that. And the grandma down the hill is the dad's mom.
Yes.
And she is feisty.
Yeah, she's fierce.
Oh my God, I love her so much. I put like notes here. Everyone, I was like, I love grandma. Grandma's great. I love grandma. When, because they don't want to educate their kids because they don't want the feds to get to them. Oh my God. She says, she's like, I got some pennies in my purse. You better take them. They'll be all the sense you got.
Oh,
like,
burn grandma.
Ooh, Grams. Ooh, and then basically she's talking about like, you should educate your children. What are you thinking? I just wonder as a parent, when you see your child doing things that you're just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I wanted you educated. Why aren't you like, what happened?
Oh, you're
you know
talking
what I mean?
In the sense of like, of grandma. I thought you meant like as the dad.
No, of like as grandma. See, because what ends up happening is that grandma tells Tara, like, hey, if you want to come away with me when I go to Arizona, we'll put you in school. You know, your dad won't be able to come and get you because he has to do all this stuff in the winter. Yeah. So it's just like she hadn't, although that's kidnapping, but at the same time, like she's trying to give this little girl a chance.
Opportunity, yeah.
And of course, the little girl is frightened to death.
Sure.
So she doesn't go.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, a little kid shouldn't have to decide between parents and school. That's insane.
It's so sad.
It's so sad that this father's mental illness, because he does have a mental illness.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When you start thinking, when God told Dad to share the revelation with the people who lived on the farm. I mean, when he's talking to him directly.
Oh, and don't drink milk and
yes.
It was milk and
he was reading
something.
a proverb from Isaiah.
Uh-huh.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. And then and it said something about honey.
Honey and milk. Honey and cream or...
And he said he doesn't know which one is the bad one. So they got rid of all the milk and brought in vats of honey.
Yep.
So Tara and her siblings had to eat bran cereal with water and honey. Or they could eat pancakes with like honey on them or something like that.
Oh my God.
It's just... Yeah.
Oh,
and this is why I fucking love Grandma. After Dad took up preaching against milk, Grandma jammed her fridge full of it.
That's right. That's right. She was like, you are psychotic. But again, like, I kept thinking every time she said, like, my dad went on about this, and she would quote things he'd say, I'm just like,
how many times did he say that?
He is struggling.
Yep.
This person is off the deep end, and there is no one around to be like, you need help, man. You're not right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's so sad, and
it
it's like
is so
if you
sad.
if you've never been around that, or you're not in a situation where you see it talked about, like now. I mean, we have Facebook now, and we have news outlets, and we have very easy ways to get that information now.
Yep.
But when they're in the middle of course, this was in the 90s, but when they're in the middle of nowhere,
right.
And they don't have any access to anything,
Zero.
you don't even realize that that's something that could happen.
But even as a kid,
of course,
you just have no idea that, like, because when you're little and you hear your parents talking, what they say is Bible. If they're quoting the Bible, like that is law.
I know,
because children will never doubt their parents until they're at an old enough age to think for themselves.
Absolutely.
But if you're conditioned your whole life to believe that there is someone or something or some entity out there to get you and to hold you down and doesn't want you to benefit in any way, and like, then you're going to grow up with that fear.
Yeah.
For no reason, really.
Totally.
And then talking about what were their names, like the Warners or the Wesleys or something?
Oh, the Weavers.
The Weavers.
I was like, at first I was like, is that even true? And then they keep talking about it. I'm like, oh no, I guess it's true that happened.
It can't be true.
I want to find out.
I think it's going to come back because she's referenced it like 5 times.
So what Demi's talking about right now is a story about another family who lives off the grid.
Yeah.
And they're held up by the feds.
She's like 8 years old when she starts like listening and like retaining all of this.
What her dad is actually saying, and so her dad is saying like, oh, the feds got them, and then the son went out to try to hunt, and they shot down the son, and then they said that they shot down the dad when the dad went out to go get the son, and then they shot the mom, but they got the baby and the baby's safe, and all this stuff,
but it's because
the feds were after them because they didn't go to school or something like that. It's all because it all came back because the kids weren't in school. And I mean, that's what I even wrote down. I was like, is this even real?
I don't know.
Is this even true? But I kind of want to, and then it says,
I feel like it's going to come back in the future where she's going to like hear about it or something or find it. Oh my God. Can I form a sentence? She's going to like read something about it when she's older, and it's going to say like, the Weavers were drug dealers or something like that. You know, like, crazy. They did get shot, but the story is because they did this. Yeah. So I don't know what it's going to be, but that's what I'm kind of guessing.
And you can see her dad go on highs and lows so easily because even after this whole thing, and he's like talking against the feds, blah, 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 blah. And then it says soon after milk started coming into the house again. Like, it's just like all of a sudden this was there again.
Yep.
And it's just interesting that his wife pretty much goes along
the whole time. She's very
submissive.
I think she's super submissive.
Also,
they are both Mormon.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the lifestyle anyway. That's the and so the mother is training to be a midwife in the beginning of the book, and very into like essential oils, herbs.
She's also like a healer or whatever. She
type of
definitely
person.
Becomes more of a healer later on.
She becomes like an energy healer.
Yeah. You like my face? Real reaction to that one.
Yeah.
It was interesting too when she was like learning to become a midwife. She was doing her makeup every day and was like apologizing when her makeup wasn't done. And I'm just like, that's kind of interesting for somebody who lives off the grid too.
To do makeup.
To want to do their makeup all the time.
And especially Mormonism, where I'm assuming you're supposed to be very like
modest. In a sense. Well,
yeah.
at least with them, not necessarily like, Mormons as we know them right now, as we know them, but especially them, because later on in the book, they talk about being very modest and stuff like that, and dressing.
What you're supposed to wear, like,
exactly.
you're not supposed to show any more than your ankles. And
exactly. So the fact that she wanted makeup, but apologized when she didn't have it.
Yeah.
And then they were saying, like, once she actually fully became a midwife, she didn't even want to be one at first.
I know. And he just her husband kind of put pressure on her, like,
this is your calling.
Have to.
Yeah.
She made hella money. I was like, dude, I'd be a midwife.
Totally. Yeah. But also because she wasn't actually certified or had anything at all.
So
if she lost a child, if she was giving birth to it or helping give birth to a child and the child died, I mean, she could go to prison.
Yep. I know. No pressure, but
all the pressure.
But yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, more about the midwife thing that I thought was so interesting was, so there was a story that Tara, or an example where something did go wrong.
Yes.
And they had to go to the hospital.
Yes.
And the mom said, you just have to play stupid.
Yep.
I forget what her word was exactly.
I have it. Oh, it was just, like, I have the instance where she did play stupid. So the most dangerous moment. So the most dangerous moment for my mother had come minutes later in the hospital after the woman had been wheeled away. A doctor stopped mother and asked why she'd been at the birth in the first place. She smiled at the memory. I asked him the dumbest questions I could think of. She put on a high, coquettish voice, very unlike her own. Oh, was that the baby's head? Aren't babies supposed to come out feet first? The doctor was persuaded that she couldn't possibly be a midwife.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just so hilarious that it still would work today even.
But at the
Men
same time,
need their ego stroked like that.
Totally. She's like a middle-aged woman who has had kids of her own, definitely knows.
Yeah, you just ask questions that you already know the answers to.
Just look kind of dumb at them, turn your head a little.
Yep.
But, and it just, and then also it goes into like how different the mother's upbringing kind of was, because her mom is very into, the mom that lives in town or whatever, the grandma that lives in town is very into appearance, and she wants her house clean and tidy.
But it was almost like obsessive. Stepford and obsessive, like like if her daughter wasn't wearing the right color of white shoes, then they'd have to go borrow someone's to make sure that it was perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
And it just...
That's a hard thing to live up to.
It's such an expectation. So, yeah, I could see the apologizing. That makes sense that she'd apologize for not having makeup on. Yeah.
Yeah, and then not giving a fuck when she actually became a midwife. It's like, whatever, this is how I am.
Not important.
Yeah. It's so interesting to see the very polarizing ways of life.
Oh,
where
totally.
When Tara's mom gets a call for being a midwife, she doesn't have a phone, so she gets the call to the grandma's house, and the grandma has to come all the way to the house. It's like, I don't get why you don't have a phone, and that's how they were answering calls for a while until they get their own phone,
which was Tara's a huge deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah, but her dad... It's funny when people want to live this certain way and like all these expectations, like, in the dad's heart that he's almost doing it and living this lifestyle because he's so stubborn.
Totally.
But then bends when, the opportunity presents himself for him to like come out.
Maybe it is a little easier.
Yes,
his head or something, but doesn't say it.
And then he breaks down and gets the phone. It's like, well, no, if you were steadfast in your beliefs and what you're preaching, you would say, nope. Sorry.
Yeah, not happening. Yeah.
No, we're not doing that in our house. Like, I know we would benefit from it, but I don't believe in it.
Exactly.
So it's
very wishy-washy.
Yes, it's so annoying to me that when people do that, like they dive in.
What's easy, like what can I stand behind?
Well, if it applies to me in this way, then it's different, and it's like, nope. Yeah, it's exactly what
you were trying to avoid initially.
What's so funny to me is that, like, for this religion, this cult, can I say that?
I mean, them specifically, I think so. Because it is it
seems like a cult.
Yeah.
So
they're like their own little family cult.
Yes. So for him to say that, it would be an opportunity for him to prove to his God that he is a true believer through and through.
Right.
And this is your opportunity to show him, like, your God, that look, the devil presents himself in certain ways,
Right.
which is what he says
Totally.
all the time.
He says it all the time. Yeah.
But you came out financially better and, more successful.
Because your wife is making money.
Because so...
And she was able to buy groceries, and that's even what Tara says in the book.
Yep.
Like, Mom had money, so we didn't have to worry as much.
Yep. And, so it's just...
Interesting.
So...
That's really intuitive of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I did find that part about realizing her father's probably bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
And it also kind of relates back to the Weavers, which is kind of like interesting how... So it says 14 years after the incident with the Weavers, I would sit in a university classroom and listen to a professor of psychology describe something called bipolar disorder.
Mm-hmm. See.
So it's interesting that she relates those two things.
Yep.
Because the Weavers were quite a long time ago, over a chapter ago. So it's interesting she said that.
She was around, like, I would say in between, like, 8 to 10 when her dad started talking about the Weavers.
Can't even imagine.
No.
It's scary, that's for sure. Because you don't know how your dad's going to react.
I know.
And he doesn't seem to be abusive in any way necessarily. He just seems to be careless.
I think he's negligent.
That's exactly what I think.
Yeah. He's not maybe a little bit of verbally abusive, and I don't think physically.
Yeah.
He's extremely negligent.
It's to the point where it's like, the feds probably wouldn't even arrest you about the schooling thing.
CPS.
They probably would,
They would
take your kids away because you're not taking them to the hospital when they get a spike through their leg.
Oh my God.
When your children
anything.
gets burned to the leg. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
And that's
exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I have to put the fire out. Like, and zero concern for his kid.
So later on, towards the end of the chapters that we're reading in this section, his son got gasoline all over his pants, but the gasoline dried on his pants. And later he went to light something and forgot about the gasoline, and it sparked and his pants caught on fire. Mm-hmm. They got the fire out, and then the kid had to put his leg into water because it was hurting so bad. Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is that they put it into a garbage can. So they're worried that maybe an infection would start because of trash that was in the garbage already. At that point, I'm sure you just want the freaking pain to stop. I'm sure. But they never took him to the hospital. Nope. And the mom had
that was when she was a healer. And I want to know what her fingers were doing, the click, click, click.
I don't get either. I think that's something that maybe... Okay, so she became a healer. The mother...
Let's backtrack a little bit about the car.
Exactly. That's what I said, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Go for it. No. You do it!
So they went and visited Grandma...
So Grandma down the hill goes to Arizona, like we mentioned earlier, during the winter.
Oh, that's right. Dad gets sad, seasonal affective disorder.
Totally.
He did.
No, that's absolutely true.
I know. It kind of made me laugh. I was like, oh, wow.
I guess everybody gets that, though. Yeah. I mean, I'm currently feeling it right now with this freaking weather.
Have you seen that meme where it's like only a couple more weeks until I figure out if my depression is seasonal affective disorder or depression seasonal affective depression or depression.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so true. Like, I love the rain typically, but I'm just so over it.
We keep getting teased with the sun.
Yeah.
Yesterday was an incredible day. I wore like a dress, it was incredible. And now
it's raining
sweats.
for 7 days.
Jesus, is it still really doing that?
Yeah. Is it still? So they go down to visit Grandma in Arizona to get Dad to start feeling better. And they decide to come back because Dad's like, I can't lose any more money. I have to make some money for the family. And also we have to prepare, for the rest of our lives. You never know when the feds are coming, or the Illuminati for that matter. And the son, Tyler, is the one that's driving. He's 17 years old, falls asleep at the wheel. Mm-hmm.
Crashes into light or electrical.
Not just even that, he crashes into a rig, like a tractor, which is why he has to pay back the guy that owns the tractor too. Oh. So they crash into a tractor and crash into a phone pole that the phone pole falls on top of the car, and there's electrical current all around the car. Mm-hmm. Tyler gets his teeth... I know. Gets his teeth smashed in. They don't fall out, but they are back. Like, they go back into his mouth.
No. Mm-mm.
Yep. The mom gets a severe brain injury.
She, had such an intense concussion and did nothing about it.
Yeah, they didn't realize. So she gets raccoon eyes, which is very dark circles under your eyes, which is an actual thing showing that you have a serious brain injury.
Are you serious?
Yep. So they never take her to the hospital. She just is now going through these migraines, and she's having a hard
Short-term
time.
memory loss.
Yes, calling her daughter Audrey instead of Tara,
Yeah.
which is 1,000% different, and has to be reminded if she's eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Or if
she'll like be making her remedies and like have to start all over because she can't remember if she put in a certain ingredient that she just put in.
Yep.
So that's when she like would make Tara stand next to her and have her be like, "Mom, you just put that in, or you haven't put that in yet."
Yeah, that's so scary.
I
can't even imagine. I'd be
and have to like lock herself away in the cellar because it's dark and she can't be exposed to the natural light
because it hurts so bad. It just makes me think a little bit of 50 First Dates.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that movie.
Me too. Yeah,
so
I just watched
funny.
it the other day, actually.
HBO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, just the short-term memory is scary. I mean, I feel like a lot of us go through something like that because we're so addicted to our devices that I forget about doing stuff all the time now. But to have that be caused from an actual brain injury
and not have the option of like being able to remember, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
And then also, you're so against going to doctors, you don't go and get it checked out.
So, but after that happened, she couldn't be a midwife anymore because she's like, what if I get a migraine during like...
And she tried.
And she did.
One day she tried to do it. She came back and she just was completely wrecked.
Yeah.
The next time she did it, she had to have her assistant do the whole entire birth, and she had to go into another room and just chill out because she was in so much pain from a migraine.
Yeah. So then she decides, well, I can be an energy healer now, which is funny because she didn't believe in that.
She doesn't believe in magic. I even have the quote.
It's not magic.
Yeah. Where she's like, there's no such thing as magic. And that's what Tara, the author, was even saying, how she said that at one point and then becomes an energy healer where it's all like homeopathic stuff where you have to make potions and you have to touch people and
and like
do all this energy stuff,
feel their energy and like transfer the energy and align the chakras and it's all that stuff. So her mom starts doing that.
Yep.
And like is very into it. And so that's how when Tara's helping her dad move all the metal and she gets that spike ran through her leg.
Right. That happens, by the way.
Yeah, like no big deal. She's like, I don't even know. It's hard for me to visualize what exactly is going on.
I know. It just seems like chaos. It's everything is chaos. So this is after their brother Tyler moves away.
Right.
So he doesn't have any boys anymore that's there to work. So he enlists his daughter essentially. Well, he does. He has a couple sons that still help out around, but he has his daughter, his youngest daughter, who's like
100% on board.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And. Yeah, anyway, so she gets a spike through her leg. And the way that it happens, he, like, makes her climb in with the metal that he wants to put into a bigger bin
or something. And he's like, yeah, just hop in there. And it's like, what?
And then he tells her, like, I'm going to dump it as soon as you climb over. So that way, like, he's going to dump in this metal thing. It's so hard to explain.
I know. I don't understand why she needed to be in there.
I have no idea. Oh, so if the metal shifts, she can make room for metal. She can make room for more metal by helping it shift or something like that.
Idiot.
So he doesn't wait for her to climb up over until he sees her. So he ends up dumping out this metal anyway. And as the metal is dumping out, the spike that went through her leg dislodges and goes into there. And he doesn't even seem that worried about it.
No, he like sees it and he's like,
are you okay?
He's like, you good? Well, okay, why don't you go have your mom put some stuff on it for you? And he like wraps it up and she's in shock, like not like, wow, that was crazy. Like her body goes into shock. She's
losing
shaking.
blood.
She can't breathe. She's 10. She is 10 years old. So she limps all the way home and her mom does this energy work and is like, closes her eyes and like taps her finger or something and is like, there's no infection. I'm sorry.
I can't.
What?
I can't.
What? Okay. So that happens. And that's kind of how her mom does everything. Even when her brother catches on fire, like we talked about.
Exactly.
She does the tap, tap, tap and says, oh, he's lucky. No infection.
And he is lucky that she was okay enough to be like, oh, yeah, there's no infection. And it was true. Like,
I know.
If there was an infection,
what then?
What would happen?
What then?
Either your son would die from an infection or they'd have to amputate his legs.
They were literally ripping skin off.
They talk about scalpeling
Stop.
Skin.
Okay.
Off.
Got it.
I can't even imagine that life.
Sidebar really quick. I watched the Game of Thrones episode last night.
I love this so much.
The Mountain and the Viper.
Which one's that one? Tell me.
You know which one it is.
I know
the
Red
Mountain.
Wedding. The Mountain
and the Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
I was
what I'm
thinking
talking
like
about?
physical mountain, not the mountain himself. And the Viper, yeah, when he crushes his skull. Yeah, I know. The fact that they show all of it and it looks so real that he was crushing this guy's skull and it like just
the eyes.
I know. Mm-hmm.
It made me feel so sick. Like true I saw it and I was like, "Oh, it's coming." I closed my eyes. Mm-hmm. Heard it.
Yeah, of course. Cuz you don't have another pair of hands to cover your ears.
And can I say that her scream when she sees her husband get his head smashed was so authentic.
I know.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Great actor.
I'm still not okay. So I just immediately turned it off and I was like, we are watching The Office now. I turned on The Office faster than I've ever turned on The Office.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's intense. I mean, they are good at their graphics in that show, which is why it seems so real.
And the whole time he's saying basically like the Viper wants him to admit that he raped and killed the children and his sister. Mm-hmm. And as he's shoving his thumbs in the guy's eyeballs, he's telling him that he did it.
So the last things he hears when he dies. Ugh, I don't
and
like
what
that
is
at all.
so crazy too, I know this is not a Game of Thrones podcast. I just have one more thought.
We have to talk about it. It's coming.
It is here.
It's here in 2 weeks.
It's upon us. One crazy thing though, you literally see someone's head getting smashed by human hands, and then Tyrion stands up and he's like, "I'm gonna kill my son." Yeah. Because that's what it was for Tyrion.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we're at the junkyard.
Yeah, we're back. We're back in Idaho, which is where this is all taking place in the book.
Wow, what an episode that was. I wasn't ready. Never ready.
No. They go there in that episode.
Yep. Too far.
So mom's a healer.
But I do love the last name Clegane. I feel like I've already said that. I just love it. It's so
I don't think you've said that.
Great.
It's such a cool, yeah.
Clegane.
Clegane.
Click, tap, no infection.
Good to know.
Cool. Tyler, let's talk about Tyler leaving.
Well, before he leaves, him and his sister kind of bond a little bit.
Yeah.
So Tyler has a stutter. Mm-hmm. And he's also like very different from his family. He's
so different. He'll like tell his dad like, I will come out and help working after lunch, but I need to study right now.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do math. Mm-hmm. And he really connects with his grandma in town because she's very neat and her house is very neat.
There's zero chaos.
And at their home, it's completely chaotic, of course, but his areas are very nice and neat. He has pencil shavings sorted by year of when he shaved the pencil down. He's like, oh, this is just a start. Like, this is to start fires. But he still had it all cataloged. Mm-hmm. And he really likes music, very meticulous. And he likes, very classical music.
Right.
And then his sister finds a CD. Tara finds a CD with all these choir members on the cover. And she's like, he's like, do you want to listen to it? And she was kind of taken aback. She thought she was going to get in trouble by him because she was messing with his stuff. Mm-hmm. And they listened to it, and they listened to it like 4 times together, like all the way through, which I would go crazy. Turn it off. Yeah, he goes off to college.
Yeah.
I
think she feels a little abandoned.
Absolutely.
Which is sad, but like also, oh, and this also reminds me of Where the Crawdads Sing.
Tell me.
Because
she's all alone.
All her siblings leave her, and like it's such a torn feeling for everybody involved. Like I'm sure her brother feels guilty for having to leave, but like what is he supposed to do?
Own life.
Exactly.
I did make a note though that I was kind of irritated. Of course, it's not the kids. It's not their responsibility to raise their youngest sibling. I think I just might have a different opinion because I was fortunate to have my sisters teach me things as well.
Right.
But I'm just irritated that when her brother Tyler finally stood up to the dad and was like, I want to go to college, I'm going to go, Tara didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Had no idea what it was at all.
Yep.
So just the fact that she's not even learning like
basic things.
Society. Yeah.
Societal norms. That's
Truly.
the word.
Yeah. And the fact that her sister totally wants to escape as well, and I get it, but she gets different jobs. So I think she even lives there, technically, but is never there because she works so much to get away from the house.
Right.
And then her brothers have moved in and doing their own jobs. They come back and help and all that. But yeah. So, I'm guessing there's other siblings that live with them because in that Ellen interview, she talks about one brother being very abusive towards her. So I don't know who that is yet. But, one of 7, I'm sure there's something going on. But she doesn't really talk about her siblings. It seems very lonely.
Yes.
It seems like even if there are siblings there, they're not there.
And it's hard, too, to, like, tell so much. You have to only kind of pull what's necessary for this story. Totally. You can't go day to day.
Which is crazy because it's like, I bet you there's so much more to tell.
Yes. All right. Well, are we going to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay. Take it away.
Well, the last bit is that Tara, totally was going to call her Audrey because I just saw Audrey. Nope.
No,
Tara
Mom.
decides that she wants to. How does she even find this dance thing? Somebody recommends it to her.
Oh, because she tells her dad that she wants to go to school.
Right.
And
her dad's like, nah.
Her dad says no. And she realizes that her sister has an outlet by having a job and she wants a job, but she's only like 11 or something.
Something young, yeah.
And she goes to this lady's store and says, I could be a babysitter.
Right.
And so then I think the lady tells her that her daughter owns a dance company or a dance studio somewhere in town, and her mom basically enrolls her.
Yeah,
does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah. With that, she's able to dance, but she's not actually allowed to wear the uniforms for dance. She has to go in jeans and steel-toed boots and like a huge gray t-shirt. Yeah. When all the other little girls are in, what's it called?
Leotards.
Not leotards.
Tights.
What? Think of the tights. Whatever this part of the leg is where it covers. And that's where the whole modesty thing comes into play.
Yep. So shocking.
I know. Can't have anything. Her dad's like, can't have anything above
nothing
the ankle.
Exposed.
Earlier in the book, Tara remembers how her dad used to always say women belonged in the house and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, no jobs. Gross. And then until his wife starts making money.
Then it's convenient for him. Perfect.
Yeah. So they decide to put on a recital, and the mom goes to the dance teacher and is like, listen, can't have my daughter wearing all this stuff. It will not go well. We can't have her, anything.
She says if we don't change the outfits, then she's not coming.
Yeah, she can't do it. So they have them in these like bulky sweatshirts.
And all the girls are like,
what's this?
What is happening?
Completely covered up. And the dad finds out about the recital and is like, well, I want to go. Sees his daughter and goes off on how
he's so mad.
Immodest they are.
Tara doesn't even do the recital because she's scared that the sweatshirt will lift up on her legs or something.
Exactly.
And show more skin. And so she doesn't do the cartwheels and the jumps and the twirls, and all the girls are so mad at her afterwards.
Of course, because it's like
it's important.
It's a dance recital.
Yeah,
he practiced for this. I would be so irritated too. Yeah, and she knew everything. She just wasn't doing it. She was worried about what her dad was going to think in the audience. And come to find out, after the show, he was freaking livid.
Yeah.
So they get her out of dance, and she wants something to do, and they find a vocal teacher. And it's really far out of town, but the dad, for whatever reason, was like, I'll find money to help you do this.
Well, because she starts singing.
I thought he hadn't heard her actually sing yet.
No,
he did hear. That's right.
He heard her singing.
That's right.
Annie. She wanted to audition for the role. Well, I think first what she does is she sings at church.
Yes.
So she sings at church. Everybody's so amazed by her.
And then want her in the choir.
That's when her dad is like, I'll find a way to get the money.
Exactly.
And then she auditions for Annie and gets the lead. And
so she must be really good.
Yeah.
I did find a YouTube video that I haven't watched yet of her actually singing like a Mormon hymn.
I want to see.
I know. I feel like we should watch it in a second. Just because I want to see how she sings.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not an 11-year-old voice. It's her now 30-year-old voice. Yeah. I'm sure it's still gorgeous.
Yeah.
If she could sing that well then.
Totally.
So that's basically where we leave off.
She's still a kid.
But it was also talking about, which I thought was really interesting, how it's like what her dad said that he will... That he felt like blessed by her voice. Like,
yes,
this was
we're so blessed. Yeah. God has blessed us. He says that over and over and over.
And I wonder why he feels that. Maybe because he thinks that she can be a conduit for for God's hymns or something. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting how she was worried that her dad wasn't going to be supportive of this, and he was totally the opposite.
Super into it.
Yeah. So anyway, from there we read to chapter, if I can get my pages, we read to chapter 19. It's called In the Beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. We go from there. So, real quick, after we ended that, Demi and I just watched Tara Westover sing.
Okay.
And him. And yeah.
Got it.
Got it.
I 100% get it.
You did it. You're really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Be that way.
Okay. She will.
So
she'll be good at it.
I wish I could sing.
I truly wish
I could carry a tune.
Yeah. Which is so funny because I was in choir for so many years. Like into high school and stuff like that, but I was always the back because obviously I can't actually sing. I can just like harmonize. Yeah, totally lip sync, sing A B C D E. But yeah, it's good for her to actually be able to sing.
That was really pretty.
I get it. So Demi's.
Okay.
We already prefaced it.
Yeah.
Her mom brought all these notes.
I got some notes.
So we're going into our favorite part.
Right. So it's a note that I was passing obviously in class.
Duh.
And this is in high school when I was dating Julio. Do you remember Julio?
Kind of.
Okay.
Preface.
Julio.
Backstory.
Julio was one of the skater boys.
He was a skater boy?
I did not say see you later, boy.
No, I said
I did. Eventually, I broke up with him. So, and he was dating that girl, Caitlin, who did not like me. Caitlin hated me.
How'd you spell her name?
With a K.
Gotcha.
Got it. I don't know who I'm writing this note with, but it's pretty good. So they started off and say, "So you're not going to break up with him?" And I said, "I don't know. Honestly, what do you think I should do?" I really like him, but it's like, I don't know who to believe, Julio or people. She says, "Yeah, true. But on the other hand, Julio doesn't always tell the truth. ...
What does that mean?
He was a big liar."
Oh.
And
was he skanking around?
And I said, "Oh, yes, I know. But on Friday, I gave him the chance to be free and go with whoever he wants to be with. I said, I don't care who you want to be with, but I do really like you. And we haven't been together for a long time. So if you want her, go for it." And he said, "I'm over her, Demi. Why would I want to be with someone I've broken up with 5 times before if I know I'm just going to do it again?" She says, "That's quite confusing. But what if he wasn't telling the truth? I'm not telling you to break up with him, but what if what people say were true? Then he'd do it behind your back. What about Jason?" Jason. And they were besties.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I said, "Exactly. I don't understand why he would lie if he had the chance to tell me he wanted her instead. Me and Jason were together all weekend. I mean, I like him, but I like Julio more. And since I have the chance to be with Julio, I want to stay with him. Like, I choose Julio over Jason." She says, "Yeah, I don't know. It seems like you and Jason are meant to be together, but it's my opinion since you like Julio more." Said, "Yeah, that's what I think too. But at the moment, I like Julio." So confusing.
At the moment. It's convenient for me right now to like Julio, so I like him more.
"I'm going to give Julio a chance to tell me everything after school. I'm going to say ... What are you doing with Caitlin? Honestly, because I've heard everything, and what do you even want from me? It's not fair, it hurts me, and I just want to know." And she said, "Yeah, that would kind of explain why her Zanga said, 'I'm not a virgin, but I'm not a whore.'"
Oh, damn. That is some hot goss right there.
So Julio cheated on me
with Caitlin?
With Caitlin during that like church thing we used to go to.
Yes.
They like went to some area and like hooked up, and everybody knew about it the next day. And I remember I was like at school and he was walking behind me, and I turned around and I was like, "Julio, we are done."
Good.
Oh,
good for you.
Hair flipped so hard and went to the bathroom and cried.
Oh, but like,
I don't
good
think
for
I
you.
cried. I'm lying. I don't know what I did, but I remember that very vividly.
I'm very proud
and
of
all
you.
he said was, "Okay." It was a passionate love affair, obviously.
So passionate. You know, he's probably like, "Oh, she broke up with me first, damn it."
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's probably so pissed about it.
Yeah, and like, can we talk about Zanga really quick?
I don't even remember it.
Zanga.
I don't remember it.
It's like a live journal.
No, I never had one. That's what it was.
Song lyric. It was like MySpace.
Yeah. I mean, I only
but
really
just
had
journal entries.
Yeah. No, I never had. My friend had one. I never had one though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone had one.
I'm not good with writing journals, obviously.
Oh my
That's
God.
why
It was like, here, expose all your deepest, darkest secrets, and then all your friends can read it.
Yeah. No.
But yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, obviously yes. Mm-hmm. Should I read your note? Can we say her name?
Angelica.
Okay, I'm saying, can we say it? Okay.
Is there a secret in there? I don't know.
I don't think so. It just says. It's a little note. It's not folded up any certain way, which is actually great because when you get halfway there, so you open up the note, it's folded in quarters. Tell your grandma I say hi, and then when you get halfway there, she's
for some reason I think that was like something that we overheard someone saying, and we thought it was really funny.
I mean, it's hilarious. When you're halfway there, she tells you you're halfway there.
No, I mean the grandma thing.
Oh, the grandma thing.
I think someone said, like, tell your grandma I said hi. And, like, that
so it's
sounds...
like from a movie because it's in quotation marks.
Yeah, I think we overheard someone telling someone that. And we were like, what? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah. Maybe your mom.
Maybe mom.
But
yeah,
grandma.
not grandma.
Demetra.
Yes?
How are you going to run away to Sacramento?
Oh.
Like by bus or something? At least
you're running. I was running away.
No, you're just going away.
Oh.
At least you're running away to grandma's house. LOL. Because she cooks good. So also you can show grandma your new jeans.
Yeah.
LOL. That's perfectly logical. Hey, grandma, I just want to come by to show you my jeans. Then she has to make you food. Hopefully you guys don't run away for too long. When are you moving to Plasterville? She's
never.
Plasterville. You can't leave me. Who else is going to make fun of Eddie Spaghetti in the shade? I sure don't know. Yeah, and that's good that you're going to talk to Julio. Just don't get hurt.
Oh, I got hurt.
Got hurt. That can be the upside of moving. You get to start all over again. Who knows, you might go out with a with a ultra sexy guy. I'm gonna go. Bye. Love always, Angelica. By the way, I'm gonna go. But
I'm gonna
go.
Okay, and I just have one more because it's so funny. So remember how obsessed with Richie I was in
yes
in 7th grade? So this is from my best friend at the time.
Okay.
And my nickname in middle school was Dima.
Still don't get it.
Don't know why.
No, don't. What? Like where? Demetra, Demi,
Dima. No one knows.
Was this around the time of like Jersey Shore?
No.
Okay, that makes no sense.
No. This is in like 2012, maybe. Hi, hun. This is from a equally 12-year-old.
Gotcha. 2002 then. You said 2012.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, I was wait, you were already out of college? Or?
No.
We're still writing notes?
Got it, sorry. Hi, hun. I really hope you had a fun weekend. Did you see Anthony? That's his name, right? I'm a little slow. I don't know who Anthony is. I called and left a message on Saturday. I really want to call you, but it's like 9:15 and I don't want your parents to get mad. I know you don't exactly want sympathy about the whole Richie thing, but look, remember the last day of school at the mall? Kayla got caught cheating on that 17-year-old guy? Well, supposedly her and the 17-year-old broke up, but I don't believe it one single bit at all. She is a cheating, acne-faced whore. Another thing is, you and I both know she doesn't really like Richie. He was trying not to hurt you by saying that he didn't want a girlfriend. But look where lying got him. In the end, it's his loss and his mistake. And when she dumps him, he'll be the stupid ass one for lying. So by this happening, you learned the painful way that he is not worth it at all. I am so sorry, and I'm always here to talk. Love, parentheses, not in a lesbian way. Lily. P.S. I got you a lollipop.
That's so... No, she like needs... It's like the girlfriend that you need in your corner. Like, that will talk shit for you. Like, this person's
She was good at the time.
Yeah. Oh, at the time. Okay.
We'll talk later. Still bitter.
It still hurts.
I never forget anything.
Because you document everything.
All written down, folks.
Yeah. So
in my Zanga.
I just like in my Zanga. Not in your secret journal.
No, my whisper diary or whatever.
Whisper diary. I can't even remember password or something like that. I just like, it's so funny to me that people our age and that generation, like, we had to like specify that we weren't lesbian or whatever. It's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, no.
Obviously nobody does.
No.
You know? Well,
you had to let them know.
I know.
It's different times. Like, I don't think kids talk like that now.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I really hope not. Like, the stigma around it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
I don't.
Not anymore.
No.
I never actually did.
Yeah. I think anytime I would see stuff like that, I'd be like, well, wait, are you? Because, like, why'd you have to specify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
who cares?
Wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please tell me, because then I feel like super special when you tell me.
Yeah.
I used to love when my friends would be like, so, by the way, like, whoever it was, it didn't matter. You know, I like this person or whatever. I'd be like, oh my God, I know. I know who it is. Like, you told me who you like. And I'm like one of the only people that know.
Tell me, Laura.
Tell me. But yeah. So anyway, Demi has
you
stacks
guys.
on stacks.
Yeah.
On
notes
stacks
on notes
more.
on notes.
I
All
keep
that
forgetting to bring
drama.
mine. I have the same 5 notes in my bag, but I have a whole box of them.
Bring them.
Yeah.
Jess.
I'll have you read them.
Okay.
So that way you have never read them before, and then you can read them in a voice.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, read to your books. Read to your books.
Read to your books.
Tell them a good night story.
Yes.
Tuck them in.
Love them unconditionally. They are your books.
They're yours.
Okay.
Can I have a confession real quick?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I bought this. It's not scary.
I'm so scared.
So I bought the book.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's in my hands.
Yes.
I was so behind.
You bought
I had
the
to
Audible.
Use my Audible credit to buy the book to listen to today.
I like the voices.
Actually, whoever reads the voice is doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very soothing.
Yes.
And she sounds like, did you ever see the movie 13?
Yeah. Oh God, are you kidding me?
That's one of the best movies ever, to be honest.
Ever. That's a great movie.
It's such a great movie. So Evan Rachel Wood's mom, who also is the voice of the Incredibles lady, she sounds like the voice. Hunter.
I love Holly Hunter.
Me too. Love her so much.
Yes.
When they do the voice, I think for the mom.
Yes.
For mother.
Yes.
It sounds like Holly Hunter.
I love Holly Hunter's voice so much.
So much. Yeah. She's such a great actress.
Yes.
So good. Anyway.
In that movie, so great. Okay.
So great. So we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Love always.
Love always. Denny. Oh, okay. Bye.